inspired by me, like I was inspired by Nelson Mandela. I give him a rose for every endeavor. A shout out to Julius Erving. I usually don't play a song that came out the week. I usually do some old song or some meme song or something that involved the news. But I thought you guys had to hear Will Smith's verse on this Will remix by Joyner Lucas, because goddamn, did my man spit some bars. Shout out Will. If you guys don't know, you guys probably don't know because it has nothing to do with music or anything. Will Smith's my favorite actor of all time.
Ooh, Kay, damn, man, Kay, something's peeking.
And to hear him spit like this is fucking amazing, and I love it a lot. So, shout out my boy Big Willie for coming through for Joyner on this track. It's an amazing verse. I recommend everybody listen to this. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. On this episode of Bigro's Tracks of the Week, we have a lot of good music to get through. So let's get started with Magic by Slow Tie. We covered another single by Slow Tie last week, Enemy. He also released another single this week, Body Bag, one I wasn't feeling as much, but Magic with Canadian producer Kenny Beats is very good. I'm Retarded. Murder Beats is the one who's Canadian. Kenny Beats looks like Murder Beats. They're both redhead white boys. I'm not sure where Kenny Beats is from, but boy, does that man make some good beats. He had a collab record with O3 Greedo last year. That was amazing. Done lots of work with Freddie Gibbs. So maybe he's from the West Coast because he works with West Coast artists a lot. But overall, this is a very good track, and I am excited for Slow Tie's next project. Next up, we have Excitement, a collab between Trippie Redd and Party Next Door, which is a surprisingly really good track. I could see this getting lots of traction. It's a really good pop hit. Party Next Door and Trippie Redd mesh really well. Trippie's at his best on this song. Doesn't sound like he's phoning it in or doing some of his weaker vocals, which we've seen on some of his past projects like Exclamation Point and Love Letter to You 4, but shout out Trippie for giving it his all. Party Next Door meshes well with him, so I like this track. Next up, we have 495, which I'm going to assume is an area code. I didn't look it up before the track. I'm a terrible video music reviewer because I didn't even know what this meant, but IDK, Baltimore rapper, maybe it's the area code for Baltimore, teams up with Rico Nasty, Big Flock, Big Jam, Wee Nezzy. Everyone drops good verses. It's a good song overall. They all have good chemistry together. Give this a shot if you want a posse cut of kind of underground rappers that aren't really seeing the light yet. And next up, we have Who? From Cameron and Subjects, who is, I guess they're starting their own group, God Can't Save You, which I guess is meant to be some sort of rival or companion to City Morgue, who's kind of taking their New York trap metal scene by storm. But I really like their GCSY group as well. I think they have a project coming up because they've released at least 5 singles this year. Who's their most recent one? Very good single, so I'm very excited for the project. And next up, we have a single from Smoke Perp collabing with his longtime BFF forever, Lil Pumpernickel. They are released Off My Chest, which includes probably Lilium's best verse in a long time. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, Smoke Perp is also at the top of his game on this one. It sounds like it was produced by Ronnie J. I don't think it was their longtime producer friend, but overall, this is like a classic song collab between the two, so give this a shot if you like some of their older work. Next up, we have Pop Shit, a new single from Reason, one of the newest Top Dog Entertainment signees, with a feature from Schoolboy Q, one of the older Top Dog Entertainment signees. They both collab very well, obviously. They have lots of chemistry, and this is a great single. I guess it's probably teasing a new Reason album. I don't know if he's released one before, so give this a shot if you like Kendrick, Schoolboy, Isaiah Rashad, all those other TDE artists. Reason definitely fits in with the rest of them, so give this a shot if you like that sound. Next up, we have our first EP of the week, which was Extra Glow by Chief Keef. And overall, this is a very mediocre project of a bunch of Lucy's released, I think, like the last 2 years. Only the first song is a good listen, so I saved you guys a click and 18 minutes of your time. Just listen to the first one. That song's the best. Overall, the rest are forgettable. And then next up, we have another EP, this one by Scarlord, and I'll save you guys another click. This one's only 8 minutes and 40 seconds, but in my opinion, only the first song is very good. Actually, the second song isn't bad, and the third song, too, isn't bad either, but the first song is the only one that I appreciated the most. This is more consistent than that Chief Keef Lucy collection, but overall, I think the only song that had the most effort put into it was the first song, Concern. Next up, we have the deluxe version of City Morgue's Volume 2, which was my album of the year from last year, and I teased it in the last episode that there will be new City Morgue music. They only added 4 new songs, and I added 3 of them. The 3 songs I did add were very good and add to what would be the greatest album of all time. This song, which was just Solo Zillakami featuring NASCAR Aloe, it's kind of mid. V12, which was a solo Sus Mula song, was really good. So shout out Sus Mula for stepping up his game, and then Clever dropped a good verse. He meshed well with the boys, so give this a shot if you'd already appreciated this album from last year. Next up, we have Young Lean, Mr. Sad Boy himself, dropping a new album, Stars. I was really intrigued by this album because he dropped a couple singles beforehand, Boy Life in EU, which I did like. He also dropped Dog Boy, I believe, which I did not like. And then, so I was kind of like going into this a little like hesitant. But overall, I actually really liked it. I only saved a couple songs because honestly, his sound isn't for everyone, but the songs I did add are very good. Like, I really enjoyed them. Some of the best melodic trap, kind of cloud rap I've heard in a long time. So give these songs I saved a look, and if you like those, then listen to the rest of the project, because he does a good job. Lots of great production. The songs where he really leans into his accent, which isn't really his fault since he's foreigner, kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but other than that, he does a great job. Next up, we have Polo G's second album, a follow-up to his debut from last year, The Goat. And in this album, he kind of proves he might be the GOAT. I mean, not the GOAT of all time, but the GOAT of this new generation, because this was a really good project. A lot of the singles he had released beforehand I already saved, like Heartless, D&D. But then, Go Stupid, obviously, probably his biggest hit since Pop Out. But then a lot of the songs on the project are really good. He has a great flow, a great act for his storytelling from his life. Like, really paints a picture of his street memories. So, shout out Polo G for being a really good new artist on the scene. All the songs I saved are really good. Some of the songs I didn't save are also really good. This last song is really interesting. He samples Tupac's Changes, one of the greatest hip-hop songs of all time. In my opinion, I thought it was kind of corny, but I see a lot of people praising it. Let me know down in the comments what your opinion is, because I've seen people liking it, and I want to know what you guys think. Next up, we have Big Fuchsia's new project, High Off Life, which I've seen a lot of people saying is mid, and I agree. I think it's pretty mid. It's honestly kind of 50-50. Half the songs are kind of boo-boo, half the songs are good. You can see the songs I liked. Basically, it was this stretch from Touch the Sky to Posted of Demons. The Trillionaire song with Youngboy, Never Broke Again, was good, where they trade off bars. This little Uzi Vert song sounded like a cut dropped off Eternal Talk. And I can see why it was cut off Eternal Talk, because it's not very good. This 100 Suitors song with Meek Mill was really old. I think it was released like October of last year. But overall, this one stretch is pretty good. It's feature at his highest. He flows well. He picks interesting beats, but overall the rest of it is really samey, really mediocre. And hopefully Future can step up in his next project. But maybe if he cut it down a little bit, didn't add all these extra songs, he could have released a good project on the same level as Wizard or Future. And then last but not least, we have an album from Scrim, one half of the Suicide Boys, who released his own project. This project began when he first got sober because he was addicted to drugs for a long time. And this was kind of his ode to his sobriety and a love letter to how he felt in life at the time. So a man rose from the dead, obviously symbolic for how he felt. And overall, I thought it was good. I think overall it was good. It's interesting because he uses a lot of auto-tune, which is not something that's really prevalent in the Suicide Boys' main discography. And I see a lot of people kind of hesitant and kind of complaining or criticizing his use of autotune. And I can definitely agree with that at some points, especially towards the end. It starts to get really samey. But overall, I feel like he switches up enough. Some of the songs like Jesus Wept, Nightmare from the North Side, and Fight Club are really hard-hitting. He does his normal flow, no autotune used. But then some of the songs where he does use the autotune, they hit kind of deep, and I really appreciate it. Really introspective lyrics. Overall, if you enjoy the Suicide Boys and you want to see like a different side of one of their main guys, obviously he did all the production on this album, and it's all amazing. So give this a shot if you've been a fan of them in the past. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this episode of Bigro's Tracks of the Week. Hope you guys enjoy some barefoot hard seltzer. Nah, don't enjoy that. Get yourself a twisted tea. Hashtag unwind with a twist. Get your boy sponsored. And I see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
For my life, can't say that, girl. Don't tell me you could say that shit. All she want is payback for the